Hello, everybody. This is Taylor Johnson, and I'm here interviewing Manny Cosme of CFO Services Group. Good morning, Manny. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Terrific. Thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Could you describe it a little bit for us about CFO Services Group?
Yeah, so we're a management accounting firm headquartered in Washington, D.C. And as a management accounting firm, we focus on two things. We focus on bookkeeping and helping our clients manage their back end office accounting office, which is like doing the invoicing, reconciling, paying bills, things like that. And then on the other side of that, we do financial strategy. So helping our clients think about how they want to grow their businesses and using their financial resources to hit their goals.
Oh, excellent. So it's kind
Yeah,
of a two-pronged strategy. That sounds really good.
exactly. One feeds right into the other. It's perfect.
Right. And so how did you get into this business?
So I've been in the accounting field for over 20 years now. I got my bachelor's degree in accounting a long time ago and did some public accounting for a while, realized that while that was sort of interesting, I guess, I didn't really enjoy filing tax returns. And I
Yeah.
didn't like telling people about all the mistakes they made, which is what you do when when you're an auditor. What I really liked doing was helping businesses manage their money. And so I ended up starting to do more controller work and then eventually CFO work, going inside a company and helping them manage their money, make decisions about money, kind of things like that. And that eventually led me to starting my own firm, doing that for small businesses and nonprofits, which is what I do today.
Excellent. So,
Yeah.
so you've got it sounds like you have background in a lot of different pieces of this field.
Yeah.
So in a way, you kind of know what you're speaking about
Yeah.
because
I
you've been
hope so.
on the other side of it multiple times, right?
Yeah.
Um, so how
Well,
long have
especially
you
in
been in
running
business?
so we've been in business 9 years as of now, and barreling towards our 10th year. So a milestone year.
Excellent. Well,
Yeah.
congratulations on that.
Thanks.
What would you
Yeah.
say has been one of your greatest challenges of growing your business?
Oh, what day is it? Depends on the day. There have been a lot of challenges in growing a business. And I will say, as you grow, the challenges definitely change. So
Uh-huh.
the challenges I had day one are definitely not the challenges I have today. As we've grown, people like hiring people, really good team members, that's always that's an ongoing challenge. And I think a lot of business owners out there who are hiring would probably agree. That's probably your biggest challenge as you grow, is like, how do you get the right people in the door? How do you keep them motivated? How do you keep them, everyone moving towards a goal? That gets harder and harder as your team grows, for sure, because there's more people, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's definitely a challenge. Challenge of small business: cash, making sure you always have the finances to be able to grow, because you have to fuel that growth, and fuel to a business is money. So putting money
Yep.
into marketing, kind of things like that, sales, that's always a challenge. So yeah, I would say those are probably the two biggest challenges that I have, which is definitely not unique. Working with a lot of clients on the strategy side, that's pretty much the challenges that all of my clients have. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, it's interesting that you bring up the hiring piece because
Yeah.
that often does not come up when I talk to other small businesses.
Oh,
Um, and, you know, I'm a real estate agent with Keller Williams, and one of the things that Keller Williams is really good about is training agents and giving us resources for building our own businesses, and helping us with sort of strategizing, where we're growing and so forth. And one of the most frequently presented classes is how to hire,
oh, really?
because
Yeah.
they're big believers that hiring the right person is more important than filling the job description. Sometimes you might change the job
Yes.
description because you've got the right person, right? And a lot of small businesses fall into that trap. They've got a spot that needs filling, and they look for that, and the hire is not the right person.
Yeah. I 110% agree with that. Yes, yes. I will tell you that when we hire based on company cultural fit, first and foremost. And, my philosophy is that, anyone, within reason can learn the technical skill of doing accounting or doing sales or doing development or whatever we're hiring for. But you can't teach company culture. That's something that, someone has to just naturally kind of be a part of, I think. And so that is super important to have that right fit. So everyone on our team feels like they're a team. And, I've had this business a while. I've hired a lot of people, fortunately had to let go of some people. And the reason why the people I had to let go of was that reason, is that they just didn't fit in.
Not a good cultural fit.
Clients. Yeah. And even if they were really good technically at the work they did, at the end of the day, if there was a personality conflict or whatever, it wasn't going to work. And so that is so critically important as you grow.
And is that something that you sometimes bring as you're consulting to some of your clients?
Yeah, so I will say as a CFO, we definitely get involved. So HR, human resources, can sometimes fall under a CFO's purview. Where I come from as a CFO, I come from HR more from who do we need to hire? Let's create the position. Let's kind of build out what that structure looks like. Let's get the compensation right. What does the bonus look like? What does the, next level look like, et cetera. So I come from it from a more like that kind of
numbers point of view.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. However, I am also unique in that I run a business. And so when I work with my clients, I also throw putting on my business owner hat, let me tell you a couple other things that I think you should consider when you do this. So that's not strictly a CFO thing, but having that perspective of like, here's a couple of lessons I've learned the hard way as a business owner. This is also what you should think about when you hire that person. So important for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they appreciate that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And my clients and I will swap stories sometimes about good people we've hired and bad people we've hired, and lessons learned.
Mistakes made along the way, right? Yeah.
Lessons learned. Yeah.
What do you think your clients would say about you and your business?
I think that they would say that we feel like we're a part of their team, that we really are. We really try hard to create a feeling where we're kind of there beside you as part of your full-time team, always there to be able to, to tackle whatever projects you have, and whatever needs you have. And so I would say that our clients would say that that definitely rings true to us, that we're always there to help, that we definitely feel like we're a part of the team. And I know that because I ask my clients that, and they definitely say that. So, that's what we're going for, which is different than I think a lot of other accountants out there who maybe only see once every few months or once a year or whatever. We really try to get involved with our clients.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All of them.
So you're in a sense, you're putting into practice with your clients what we were just talking about with your hirees, right?
Yeah.
So maybe there's been a time when you've said to a potential client, I don't think we're a good fit.
That has happened for sure. Absolutely. Unfortunately, when we go through the consultation process, we do try to make sure, especially now, when I was newer, sort of like, yeah, we'll take on anyone. Right.
Right.
But as we grow,
as we all do, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I'll do whatever you need. I'll do.
Those bills have to be paid, right? Yeah.
Right. Exactly. 9 years into the business, we're in a little bit of a different spot. So, we want to make sure that we are a good fit on both sides. And I'll tell you, it's interesting because, as you grow, you create a brand for yourself, right? Like who is your company? What's your name out there? When people hear your name in the community, what do they associate it with? And so something that you have to start being careful about is making sure that you're providing quality service, the service that you want to provide to people. And if you get a client that's not a good fit for you, what happens is you're not able to do that. And then that starts to erode your brand. And if that happens over and over again, you start to run into an issue there. And so we do have to be careful that we are working with clients that we are going to be able to help and work with. We're not for everyone. Like everyone says, you can't be everything to everyone. We're not going to be able to help every client. There's certain ways that we do things and certain systems that we use. And we use them because it works for us. And we know that we have proven results when we do X, Y, Z with our clients. And some people are okay with that. Luckily, most of the people that, 90% of them we're okay with. But there's that 10% sometimes that this is not going to work. So,
right.
And we quickly realize that and send them on their way. And maybe there's another firm that can help you,
Cool. So I would imagine that switching to virtual because of COVID has actually been a good thing for you.
Yeah, actually, it was very natural. We've always been remote. So we've never had, like, I have an office, but it's just my own private office. The rest of my team works from home, and we've been like that actually for about 4 or 5 years. So, so when this happened, everything kind of stayed the same for us, to be honest. We never really changed our practices. We just kind of kept going as is. So, we made working from home cool before Corona made it cool. So,
right. Yeah. But maybe on the other side of it, that the folks that you're working for maybe feel a little more comfortable with going virtual, or maybe they've been forced into being comfortable with being virtual because of the conditions, rather than requiring you to show up and be there in person or things like that.
Oh, but even with our clients, we work remote. I mean, we've always worked remote with our clients, like I said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we don't need to. I mean, with technology nowadays, there's no need to actually physically go anywhere and do accounting, right. And we encourage our clients this is part of the, making sure you're a good fit. When we start working with a client, we encourage them to migrate to like a QuickBooks Online. So there's an online system that we're using. We're going paperless. So we'll reach out to vendors and make sure that when they send bills over, to them, that they're coming via email and not paper. So, we implement all of the electronic systems, which actually make it so much easier to manage people's accounts and money. And then all your information's at your fingertips. Like, you can go in your system anytime and see everything. It's really nice. That
Terrific.
And it goes green, which is great. Save the environment at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
So why DC? Why are you based here? You could be anywhere then, right?
I could be anywhere. I could be in Miami right now doing this. But if I was in Miami, I probably wouldn't be doing this right now. I'd be at the beach. But no, I personally love DC. I'm originally from California, the Bay Area in California, San Francisco Bay Area. And I got to DC because I got a job here a long time ago. Well, about 12 years ago or so, 12 or 13 years ago.
That's how I ended up here.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I think a lot of people end up in DC unless you're natively from here, which isn't that many people.
And then I love it. It's like, why would I leave?
Yeah. I mean, it's a great city. I love this city, and especially it's been so interesting to see all the amazing changes going on with this city. But I got here, and especially coming from the West Coast to here, I mean, it's so different. You're coming from California, which is one type of culture. And then you come to the East Coast, and it's a totally different culture. It did take me a little bit of time.
And even within the West Coast, I think San Francisco is kind of its own planet.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. San Francisco is its own thing for sure. Definitely a lot more laid back. I know it's just different. So DC took a little bit of time to get used to, but I loved it. I mean, immediately came here and I was hooked. I was like, I love the East Coast. I love the fast-paced life, all of that. So after I started my firm, yeah, I could have moved, but I decided I just wanted to stay in DC because I just love living here. And yeah, I created the firm and here I am. So, and there's honestly no place I'd rather live than here. I love it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we love having you here. What are some of
Yeah.
your favorite places to hang out?
Oh, let's see. Where do I like hanging out? Few bars I like hanging out at, restaurants I like hanging out at. I love my neighborhood. I live in the Mount Vernon Triangle neighborhood.
Okay.
And that's just a fantastic, cute little neighborhood. There's a bakery down the street I love going to, a bake joint for those of you who know. I go there all the time. And I work out at Orange Theory, which is down the street, which I like. So hang out at the dog park. So all those places. Yeah. And
Awesome.
I just going all around the city.
Right. So who would you say is, do you have room to expand with more clients?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So
We're
who's the
definitely,
ideal client for you?
we're definitely continuing to expand. Ideal client, small business, and that means from zero revenue, like, I'm just starting out my business and want to start creating good financial structure right from the beginning, which of course you definitely want to do. From them all the way up to, I have a few million in revenue, for-profit, nonprofit. That's not the problem. The only caveat is that you're willing to kind of go a little bit more technology. You want to be a little bit more technology forward, and you don't mind using an online bookkeeping system, which of course will run for you. And you do want someone to be a part of your team and help you strategize and grow. That's really kind of it. So,
Okay.
yeah, which is thankfully most businesses these days, I think so.
Right.
It's yeah, but we're definitely growing.
If somebody watching this is thinking about starting their own business, or they have just started and they're, kind of maybe a one-man shop, they want to get on a good financial footing or whatever, what 2-3 bits of key advice would you give them?
Number one, make sure that you do a financial forecast. That is the absolute number one thing that you need to do. And a financial forecast is basically your business plan. How is your business going to roll out over the next 12 months, 24 months, whatever? Now, if you're a new business, that may be hard to imagine because you don't kind of know what's happening yet. But it's important that you at least start putting some of your thoughts on paper, particularly the numbers. How are the finances going to run through your business? What do you plan to sell? How much do you plan to sell it for? What cash do you need? Do you need to go get a loan? Like, these are important questions that you need to know right from the beginning of your business.
Right.
So putting together your financial forecast will help you start to put that information down on paper and actually help you visualize the growth of your business. Very, very, very important process to go through. So that's definitely number one. Number two, get QuickBooks and start managing those finances. So even if you only have 1 or 2 transactions a month, get a very inexpensive version of QuickBooks, but start building the habit of keeping on top of your finances. And that's more of what it's about, building the habit of doing that. That's number two. And number three, well, I will selfishly say, make sure that you get a relationship with a management accountant to help you do all this. So there you go.
Right. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, Manny. Well, thanks so much for your time. I really appreciate that. I think I think we've got a good bit of information for folks here, and your contact information and all that sort of stuff will be below the video, so folks can get that. But why don't you just give it to them here verbally, just in case? What's the best way for people to reach you?
So you can reach us info@cfoservicesgroup.com. That's CFO as in Chief Financial Officer, services, which is plural, group.com. Or just jump on our website, www.cfoservicesgroup.com.
Okay, excellent. And I'm Taylor Johnson. I'm a real estate agent with Keller Williams Capital Properties. I'm here to be a community resource for folks. And the best way to reach me is through email, gtaylorsellshomes. So it's gtaylor sells, sells, homes, homes, at gmail.com. Or my website, taylor.enggarcia, enggarcia.com. All right, thanks, Manny.
All right, thank you.